Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network this afternoon from Eddie Underwood Field in Fort Morgan. It's a Longs Peak League doubleheader with the visiting Northridge Grizzlies taking on the Fort Morgan Mustangs, along with my great buddy and brother, John Prouty. I'm John Beltran. Critical doubleheader, John, especially for the Mustangs, 5-8 overall. But after defeating Frederick twice, they've lost 6 consecutive games, and some of those losses, John, a couple of those were downright painful, and the Mustangs were within a strike in one game against Skyline and had Mountain View beat two in another game.
Right, yeah, and that's the thing is just, just getting that. We got to get out of this slump, and we got to get things rolling in the right direction again.
Well, and that's going to start really on the defensive side. You have pinpointed multiple times throughout the course of the season that Fort Morgan starts to play well, and then it's those errors that get in the way, which quite frankly cannot happen.
No, and again, an error or two during a game, you can recover from that. 5 or 6 or 7 errors, you can't recover. And you win. You can't win with those kind of errors.
Well, right now they're averaging 3 errors a game, and that's way too many because they're on pace to commit almost 70 errors this season, and that would be a record for futility under head coach Josh Langford. We'll get to the lineup here for the Northridge Grizzlies. This is a doubleheader. The Mustangs will be the home team for Game 1. Batting first for Northridge is the center fielder Louis Pisano. Shortstop Derek Casillas hits second. The third baseman Diego Mondragon hits third. The catcher Damian Alvarez is the cleanup hitter. Batting fifth is the pitcher Lincoln Lyons. Jacob Lerman, the left fielder, hits sixth. First baseman Joel Vasquez bats seventh. Justin Sanchez in right hits eighth. And Wyatt Hill, the second baseman, bats ninth. For Fort Morgan defensively, Michael Strange at first. Isaiah Ortiz is the second baseman. Chase Prouty's at third. The shortstop is Charlie Langford. Around the outfield, J.J. Marquez is in left. Angel Lopez in center. Braden Hilser in right. Jason Diaz behind the plate. And Jaden Carrera is on the mound. John, I think it's a big game for Jaden, too, because he had better numbers as a freshman than as a sophomore, but we know he has the ability to throw a good game.
Yeah, and he's had kind of an on and off again season, and hopefully this is going to be a turnaround, and it's going to be more on than off.
Without question. Here is Louis Pisano. First pitch brought to you by B&B Appliance for over 30 years. They specialize in all types of appliances. B&B Appliance hitting for the right side. The pitch. Fastball is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes to Pisano, the leading hitter, batting .417. So this guy's serious, a senior too.
Yeah, so .417 this deep in the season, that's legit.
The pitch. That's a little bit low off the glove of Diaz. With a changeup, 2 balls and no strikes. Northridge hitting .282 as a team. And Fort Morgan swing and a miss. A nice breaking ball hitting .302. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Mustangs 2-6 in league play, 5-8 overall. Northridge 2-5 and 3-9. The offering. And that's a strike, another breaking ball in the outside corner. But, John, their losses, Berthoud, University, Eaton, Holy Family, Northridge's schedule has been murder.
Yeah,
and that's a non-conference. They lost twice to Skyline and twice to Holy Family. Called strike 3,
Whoa.
A fastball in the inside corner. And that backed Pisano off. He must have said something.
I actually think...
Has he been thrown out?
I don't know. I don't know if he said something the umpire didn't like, but it looked like it broke just at he jumped back, but it broke in and caught the inside corner. Because I was sitting here just looking at it. He caught the inside corner.
John, I think Pisano's been ejected because the umpires go into the lineup card, and normally when you do that,
you're going to have a
you eliminate one player and have another in there.
Well, and that's going to hurt him badly then if he's been ejected because he's, with his batting average, that
number 1 hitter.
Huge.
Some fireworks early. I have seen some odd things in baseball here in the past few days. Well, at any level.
but we were just talking about accountability. I really like that from an umpire. You say something to me, and if you're legitimately mouthing off, then yeah, that's an ejection.
Swinging a foul off to the left-handed hitting Derek Casillas. Well, it had to have been nasty, too, because the umpire didn't react emotionally in terms of an animated reaction. He just made the decision.
Walked him over to the coach, and he said something to the coach like he's done, and walked back.
And the pitch. Breaking ball is lined into left field for a base hit. And that's a one-out base hit by Derek Casillas. And, John, let's point this out. According to Colorado High School Activities Association rules, it's a one-game suspension.
Yeah. And
You're ejected for that game. Yeah, so Pisano would be done for the day.
Yeah. He just became a spectator on the bench if he was ejected. But it sure looked like he was.
It has to be. Diego Mondragon now the hitter, the pitch, and the breaking ball's a beauty.
He laid that in there really nice. That broke right in.
I don't know.
Well, oh.
Yeah, just a bat got loose.
It was a bat out
I don't know, John, if Pisano was calling for time or something, because he kind of backed off and didn't even contest that pitch when he was called out on strikes on that 2-2. But something happened to participate.
If you call for time, and the umpire doesn't have to grant it.
No, not at all.
And didn't look like he was granting anything.
Nope.
Because the pitcher was in the windup if he did call for time, which I didn't see.
No, I didn't see it either. But
pitcher was in the windup when he would have done it.
But if you notice, he was backing off the plate as that ball was in flight.
Well, and I think he thought it was coming inside because he jumped back. He really did. It was a jump.
Swung on and lifted deep into left field.
Right to Marquez.
And he'll make he dropped the ball.
No.
Right off his glove. Marquez will pick it up. And now the runner's caught between second and third. The throw. Prouty's going to run him back to second and now applies the tag for the out. Yep. The hitter gets to second, so that's an error on J.J. Marquez. And there's two down, but that's not good base running there by Casillas. I'm not sure why. And now.
Well, and I saw the coach tell him to be quiet. He's going to argue something here.
Well, the only thing he could argue is perhaps fielder's interference. But I didn't see any. I didn't see any interference.
Because Prouty clearly had the ball, and he was 20 feet from the bag when he had the ball.
Well, JJ just learned a lesson. You got to catch the ball. He never looked that ball into the glove, and that's a play that he should make 100 out of 100 times.
Yep. He looked down at the runner to see where he needed to go, and you just can't take your eye off the ball. It's the ball first. I always teach my team that all the time. Ball first.
Damian Alvarez swings and lines it into left center field to his right, and making the catch is Angel Lopez. That ball had a lot of topspin.
Yes, it did.
But Angel Lopez made the play on that shot out into left center field, and that concludes a very odd top of the first inning. No runs on one hit. There was a Mustang error and one left. Let's head to the bottom of the first. Northridge does not score. Fort Morgan is coming to bat on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. John Beltran back with John Prouty. Let's get to the Mustang starting lineup, brought to you by Buildings by Design. They'll make your vision a reality. Visit buildingsbydesign.com. Batting first, the pitcher Jaden Carrera. The shortstop Charlie Langford at second. Jason Diaz, the catcher, bats third. The DH is Miguel Davila. Batting fifth, the center fielder Angel Lopez. The second baseman Isaiah Ortiz at sixth. Chase Prouty, the third baseman, bats seventh. Right fielder Braden Hilser at eighth. And the left fielder J.J. Marquez bats ninth. Defensively, Joel Vasquez at first. Second baseman is Wyatt Hill over at third. Diego Mondragon. Derek Casillas at short. Left fielder is Jacob Lerman. In right, Justin Sanchez. Let's see if we get a number on the center fielder, John.
And I can't tell. It looks like a 7 or a 1.
Well, one would be a Louis Pisano.
Okay.
Now, if he's still in the game, John, all he did was receive a warning then. But again, well, maybe you still go to the lineup card for a warning. I don't know.
Yeah, you mark it. Maybe you mark it down.
Damian Vasquez behind the plate, and Lincoln Lyons is on the mound. So if that's Pisano, they do have a center field. They have a 7 named. let's see. They've got a 7, who is Gustavo Molinar. But again, I can't tell. That to me kind of looks like Pisano out there. We'll see when he comes in.
Yeah.
Jaden Carrera will now step in for the Mustangs. Carrera hitting .333.
And if it was just a warning, then certainly I'd understand that. I mean, it'd have to be something pretty egregious to get ejected right from the very beginning of the game.
I agree.
But it's happened. Unless somebody else in the crowd yells and then you eject the coach.
We've seen that too. Oh, I know.
Saw that in the majors just the other day.
I know what you're talking about.
Interesting dynamics when
yeah.
that happens.
Well, without a doubt. That is interesting to say the least.
I don't think the Yankees head coach was too happy about it.
No. That's Aaron Boone. Lincoln Lions 2-3 with a 6.1 ERA. The pitch squaring to bunt, and it's squared out right out towards the pitcher. He throws to first, throw a little bit offline, but the out is recorded, and that's as poor a bunt as you can have there. Unfortunately, Carrera, it's almost like hitting a ground ball back to the pitcher in a full swing.
Yeah, because all he had to do is take 2 steps down from the mound, pick it up, and throw. I didn't understand that back to the pitcher.
Well, I don't think he intended that, but you got to angle the bat.
You got to control. Yeah, you just angle the knob to where you want it to go.
The pitch, breaking ball is, I guess, a ball. That looked pretty good from here, John.
It did.
Where did that miss? That's Charlie Langford at the plate. I have no idea where that missed.
It could have been a little high, but not much.
Charlie hitting .500. That's a strike on the outer half. And the count levels at 1-1. No score, bottom of the first inning. Northridge stranded a base runner. This is the first of 2 games. We'll be with you probably till about 7:30, 8 o'clock to pitch. Fastball, a strike on the outer half at the knees to Langford. It's 1-2. And Lincoln Lions, with that high ERA because of the competition he's faced, is still popping that glove early. Getting the sign from Alvarez. And the offering. That is a called strike 3. That was right there at the knees on the outer half, and I have not seen that in the career of Charlie Langford, where he took 3 consecutive pitches, and those are spotted very well.
They really were. I mean, 2 of them were right down the pipe, 5x5 on that.
Here's Jason Diaz, open stance, right-handed hitter, and the offering. Swung on. That ball is lifted foul and out of play off to the right. Again, John, we've seen some odd things here. The potential ejection, the drop fly ball, the strikeout.
Yeah.
That's 3 odd things we've seen in about 10 minutes.
Not a good start.
The pitch swung on in line towards left center. That should be caught. And to his right, if that's Pisano, he did make the play on that 0-1 pitch, side retired in the bottom of the first inning. Let's head to the second in the first of 2. Along with John Prouty, I'm John Beltran. No score, Fort Morgan and Northridge from Eddie Underwood Field on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's hit the top of the second inning. Let's do it on air. Happy birthday to Rob Caruth, the grandson J.J. Marquez in left field.
Yep.
Yeah, there's not too much sun out here. I was trying to convince us of the sun. I think J.J. would admit, you know what?
He didn't lose it in the sun.
I can't. By the way, I'm going to guess. I always like to guess. I'm going to say 72 game time temp. I have no idea. Oh, I'm off, John. You want to guess the game time temp?
I was going to say 69.
64.
Oh, really?
Now,
well, because the temperature dropped. And I got here a little early.
Yeah.
Sun was out, and then
you're right. It has dropped a little bit.
And and then all of a sudden it just clouded up.
It was at 66.
Okay.
So, but you're right. It has dropped. All right, here we go in the second. Lincoln Lions. You know, a weird thing about me, John, I'm a fan of alliterative names. So Lincoln Lions, a heck of a name. Here's the pitch by Jaden Carrera, and the breaking ball bounces to the plate. 1 ball and no strikes, no score.
Well, as long as his middle name's not like Lincoln Log Lions.
I was thinking of that, too. The pitch, outside, 2-0. Lions, Lerman, and Vasquez in this Northridge second. Hopefully no more. when the opposing team is at the plate, John's favorite numbers are 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
The pitch. That's a strike with a fastball down the middle. Even the start by Jaden, he began the first inning with 2 balls and then mowed down pretty much, not that he didn't mow him down, but he's throwing strikes. He starts here with 2 balls, and now he finds a strike zone, and now this 2-1 is a breaking ball for a strike on the inside corner.
And that was pretty coming in.
This is as good as I've seen his breaking ball work all season.
Yes, like breaking ball's working for him, and that's a good sign.
A very good sign. 2-2. There's the wind and pitch. Swung on it, drilled into the right center field gap. That's going to roll all the way to the fence. Hilser chases it down before getting to the fence, but nonetheless, it's a leadoff double for Lincoln Lions. That's the issue when you hang the breaking ball.
And that was a good, well hit line drive that just kind of tailed off to the right center, away from the center fielder. So those are good hits. They're hard to defend those.
Oh, it's very difficult. Jacob Lerman now stepping in. And Lyons was hitting 286 going to that bat. Lerman only 192. A guy hitting under 200, you've got to get him. Looking back, now the sun has come out a bit. Swung on and tapped foul, left of the plate. No balls and 1 strike. The Mustangs will be the visiting team for Game 2 because they were supposed to play on Saturday morning in Greeley. The weather wiped out virtually the entire state baseball games. Looking back, and the pitch, swing and a miss. Oh, that was a nasty bender, and it's 0-2.
I don't think anybody played baseball unless somebody had an indoor venue.
I saw some scores come across, but it might have been like in the extreme southern part of the state.
Okay.
I don't know.
I was going to say,
I know some
southeast.
scores. Yeah, exactly. 0-2. Looking back. And the offering. That is a called strike 3. Yeah, that's the corner. Might have been a stretched out corner, but
I actually think he knew it because he started and kind of did that check, pulled back, and then realized that it was a strike.
And Carrera now has picked up his second strikeout. Here's the left-handed hitting Joel Vasquez. This is a tough lineup to defend, John. Again, you've got lefties. That's the one thing the Mustangs do not have, not even one lefty.
Nope.
In their starting lineup. That's why they have to perform up to par. Jaden looks back, and the pitch upstairs. Vasquez hitting .333. However, this is only his 4th plate appearance.
Well, I did know a good left-handed hitter. He's living in Miami now.
Yeah, the Mustangs haven't had a ton over the last few years. Grounded first base side. Strange has got it right up against his belly, and he steps in a bag. Advancing to third is Lincoln Lions, 2 down. Yeah, if I had to think top of my head, John, good Fort Morgan hitters in the last few years. I mean, Briggs Wheatley was outstanding.
Briggs, Nick, Beltran.
Right, we had Kyle Daniels back about 9 or 10 years ago was a really scrappy left-handed hitter for Fort Morgan. And the offering in the dirt. Nice block by Jason Diaz. Justin Sanchez is now the hitter, batting 154. I know there's a couple of others in there, all the premier hitters.
But it's been a while ago. I mean, like we haven't had a steady stream of left-handed hitters.
Pitch is high. You know what? I'm going to look this up now that we're
because honestly, with Briggs and Nick, and they were a mainstay for the team for at least 3 years.
Right. Yeah, and there weren't too many. That was an all right-handed hitting except those. Foul to the screen. But I'm going to look.
A switch hitter that's up and coming. We'll see how he does here in the next couple of years.
Logan probably better stick with switch hitting. I know they fall in love with their power side, but they realize, you know what?
He's a better left-handed hitter.
Yes, because it's a more compact swing. The pitch. Fastball is upstairs.
Now, that one I actually thought might have been there. Must have just been a little bit high.
Yeah, home plate umpiring is so difficult, John, because pitches are either missed by a fraction or, some you miss, some you get. And that one is definitely a ball up and in with a fastball. It's a walk to Sanchez. There's Wyatt Hill, the 9-hitter.
And I think the biggest thing is as a home plate umpire, if you can just set a consistent zone, and if it's consistent, at least a hitter knows they can figure it out. They know whether to swing or not. It's when the strike zone moves all the way around.
Yeah.
As a hitter, you never know what you're swinging at.
John, you don't have to do math for this one. I'll tell you in just a second. Wyatt Hill stepping in. The pitch, swing and a miss on a changeup. He has 10 at-bats this year, 0 for 10. Simple math. Looking for his first hit of the season. Now you really got to get this guy.
I was going to say, that's when you just go straight at him.
Right, you challenge him. Absolutely. No balls and 1 strike. Runners take their leads 2 down. No score, top 2. At the belt, to the plate. That's a strike right there down the middle. It's 0-2. At the same time now, you don't want to get too cute, or you don't want to disrespect the hitter by throwing him a meatball down the middle, because at some point, you're a high school player. It's tough to hit 0 the entire season.
Right, and you know that they've been in the batting cages, so they can hit the ball.
And the 0-2 pitch to Wyatt Hill, way outside on a curveball, runner to second, no throw. That's a good pitch for Justin Sanchez to steal. Well, Pisano is on deck, so he did receive a warning is what I'm guessing. Out of the windup, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jaden Carrera, the sophomore, to the plate. Curveball called strike 3 on the inner half, second strike out of the inning. And Northridge is retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. To the bottom of the second in 1 minute. Northridge nothing and the Mustangs nothing in Game 1 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Fort Morgan nothing, Northridge nothing, bottom 2. Game moving along swiftly on this 64-degree Tuesday afternoon. Now, the question is, and my guess is going to be yes, for the first time during this regular season, will the lights be turned on at Eddie Underwood Field, John?
And I would say 99.9% yes.
Yeah, because unless you have like
With
a
the cloud
1-0
cover,
game.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to be moving along but you also know as well as
it's a 20-minute break normally between games.
And sometimes things slow down all of a sudden, too. They're moving along and they slow down.
Yeah, you're right. Just during the actual game. Here's Miguel Davila to lead off the bottom of the second. The pitch bounces to the catcher, Damian Alvarez. 4, 5, and 6 for the Mustangs in the second. Davila having a nice season, hitting .367. Open stance right side. The pitch, swing and a miss through the fastball right by him.
Yeah, he looked like he was way late on that, like he was expecting a breaking ball.
Well, look how tall Lyons is. He's got all that extension towards the plate, John.
He does.
He kicks and fires. Outside, just off the plate. Ball 2, strike 1.
And with that height and extension, he uses every bit of it throwing, too.
Wow, you know what I just realized? He threw just 7 pitches in the first inning. The offering, low. 7 pitches in the first inning. It's 3-1. And 4 of those were to Charlie.
Oh.
The ball on 3 strikes, yeah.
Yeah,
Quick.
I haven't seen a reverse K on Charlie all year.
And the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a foul tip into the glove. See, this is where, John, I don't subscribe to that philosophy of swinging at a 3-1 pitch unless it's a meatball down the middle, and that was up and in.
It was up and in, and it was a bait baseball.
Yeah, 3-2. Coming with a fastball. No, breaking ball, and it's up and in. Oh, wow.
That one actually looked better than the other one.
It did. I'm stunned he wasn't rung up, but it must have been a little bit high.
It must have been. But I know just from my coach from when I was playing high school is if it's close and you're full count, you poke it off. If it's not your pitch, that's fine, but poke it off. Don't let the umpire decide those.
Not that I'm keeping score, but now I've counted 2 pitches that Fort Morgan got breaks on there. Because that could have easily been a strike.
It was really close to on a 3-2 pitch to lay off.
Lopez now the hitter. Open stance. The offering squaring to bunt, and he takes it for a strike. That's a great pitch to bunt. but he waved the bat back, and Lopez hitting .214. Plenty of speed. Man, if he can lay one down the third baseline,
Yeah.
the third baseman, Mondragon, now is no longer even with the bag, but he's only a step ahead of the bag.
Yeah.
And this grass is going to be slow moving. It's outside.
He showed bunt again, pulled back. It was outside.
One ball, one strike. Approaching the top of the hour, this is Morgan County's B106, KPRB Brush Fort Morgan. John Beltran with John Prouty, first of 2 games. Lopez calls time. And he called time to get those signals back.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't think anybody ever calls time twice in the same at bat, but I would set that as a rule. And now, I guess the umpire was waiting for the pitcher. I don't know what happened there.
I don't either.
1-1. Nobody out. Bottom 2. Davila with a 2 to 2.5 step lead. Lyons chest level with a glove. The pitch squaring to bunt, and he pops it foul third base side.
Yeah, if you're going to square to bunt, you got to put those down. Those are missed opportunities.
Well, it's all based on the angle of the bat because that pitch was there.
It really was. And he kind of dropped underneath it, trying to push it, and you let the ball come to the bat.
Yeah, good point. You can't push it. Just let it make contact with the bat. Let the bat do the work.
Right.
1-2. Lopez awaits the pitch. Fastball inside. Ball 2, strike 2 to Angel Lopez with Isaiah Ortiz waiting to hit next. 0-0, bottom 2, Northridge and Fort Morgan. Lincoln Lyons, right-hander to the plate. Swung on line into center field for a base hit beyond the lunging Derek Casillas. And
I thought he had that.
Second is Davila. Yeah, it just went over his glove.
It did. It was just over his glove. I thought, man, he almost had that. And that froze Davila because he didn't want to take off and have that get caught.
Right, no. He made the right base running play. Ortiz hitting .294. Now stepping in, and John, you know what I'm thinking. It's another bunt situation.
I would bunt. You got the speed on the bags right now and all the way around. I would bunt.
Yeah, I mean, this is another. If you bunted with a runner at first and nobody out, you're certainly bunting with a runners at first and second and nobody out.
Third baseman playing way back.
And that bunt is laid down foul. And that was a really good pitch to bunt on the inner half.
It really was. And he had it. He was trying to put it right down third base line, and it just pulled off just enough to go foul.
No balls and one strike. To Isaiah Ortiz. Well, and this is the way Josh Langford knows he's got to play baseball with his team, because you don't have a lot of home run hitters. You've got some decent hitters, but if you can manufacture and find different ways to score runs, that'll make them better when they do swing away.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. I mean, you just have to play the small ball here.
The pitch. Strike. Oh, man, how did he lay off of that?
I don't know.
That was nothing but heat, and now he's not going to bunt.
Yeah.
0-2.
Now it's trouble.
But, John, it's these little elements that separate winning from losing.
It is.
You don't execute.
When you're bunting, you have to be able to lay that bunt down.
Davila, the lead runner at second. Lopez at first. 0-2 pitch. That is a called strike 3. Yeah, that's right there, inside corner at the knees. 1 out.
And again, that was the one we were talking about. You gotta decide it. Don't let the umpire and then get upset because he rung you up on what you didn't like.
Well, we have seen a combined 5 strikeouts in the game, 2 by this pitcher and 3 by Carrera. Here's Chase Prouty, the junior, third baseman. First and second, 1 down. Long pause. The pitch. Check swing, grounder, first base side. He'll move the runners over. Oh, the throw to second, and that's late.
It is.
Oh, that is not a smart play there.
No. All he had to do was touch first base, and you get the out. So now he's loaded the bases.
And it scored a fielder's choice. No base hit on that one, because when you have actually, by accident on that pitch coming in. Chase did his job,
Yeah,
advancing the runners,
check
and now it's
swing,
even
but
better.
laid it down the first base line, and first baseman picked it up. He was 3 steps away from the bag to touch the bag.
I have no idea why
And
Joel Vasquez threw that ball to second.
I don't either.
And
Prouty even thought he was out. He didn't even, and then all of a sudden he took off, realizing that he wasn't going to first.
Yeah, Lopez has a lot of speed. The pitch swung on line,
Oh,
base hit by Hilzer.
that's gonna be a
Davida's going to
hit.
score. Lopez to third. They're going to hold him right there. That ball was hit very sharply into right field. RBI single for Braden Hilzer, and the Mustangs lead 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning.
And that was a well-placed ball by Hilzer, right around the second baseman and into right field.
John, you know one thing that a baseball purist loves? Hitting the other way.
Yep.
Because you're going with a pitch.
Absolutely.
Here's
Every time.
JJ hitting 206. Hilzer going into the at-bat. The pitch. And he takes the changeup low. Hilzer was hitting 120. So talk about a huge hit for a kid who needed a base hit.
Right, and it was a great hit, good RBI. Yeah, and those are winning hits every time.
The offering. Fouled. That was a very similar pitch that threw to Chase. That pitch in on the hands.
Yep.
Marquez just took the full swing, but he was late on that one. It's 1-1.
Yeah, when they're coming inside, you've got to read that and get ahead of it fast and just drill one of those down the third baseline. Then you knock in a couple RBIs.
Out of the windup. And the offering. Swung on and grounded
Another
to first.
fister.
And that ball
he
gets
bobbled
by the
it.
first baseman. And he boots it, and it's 2-0. That'll be an error on Vasquez. That's not a fielder's choice. That's a straight-up error. And
It is.
scoring is Lopez, but he does get an RBI since there were less than 2 outs, and the Mustangs have a 2-run lead.
Well, and it looked like he went to just kind of slap it up for the scoop and bounced it right over his glove, past him.
John, I don't know about you. I think the ball might have had a tad English on it,
Could have.
but you got to corral it.
You set in front of the ball. You don't get lazy about fielding the
Exactly. And I think you're right. It was kind of a swatting of the glove there.
baseball. Right. He thought it was an easy, and it's like nothing's routine.
Here's Carrera. He bunted back to the pitcher in the first inning. The offering. That's a fastball for a strike down the middle just above the knees. And it's 0-1 to Jaden Carrera. Lincoln Lyons, the right-hander, will kick and fire. Inside. You know, what I do like about this pitcher, he's challenging these hitters. He's gone inside.
He is. He's not shying away from him.
Yeah.
He's attacking the zone.
The Mustangs are meeting the challenge so far with a 2-0 lead. And the 1-1. Curveball is fouled back. Oh, man. Johnny had a pitch to hit.
Yep, he really did. And I when we were talking about routine, the only thing that I think is ever routine or that you want to make routine is shaking hands after you win the game. Make that a routine.
Don't tell that to LeBron. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Or lose the game in that particular case.
Yeah.
And the offering. Fouled off to the right.
But I like how Carrera's attacking the ball here. He's he knows that the pitcher's attacking the zone, so he's going to attack back, and I like that. That's a battle.
Got to do it.
That's a battle. And making him waste some pitches is a good thing, too.
1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. Bases loaded, 2-0 Mustangs in the second. Swung on, fouled off to the right. That's out of play. As giving chase with Justin Sanchez. It'd be nice to put up a huge crooked number and shorten this game.
Yes.
A nice 4.5 inning. They've
yeah.
got the ability.
They do. And, I mean, like we talked about, several of the games they've played, they've been in. They just lost them at the very end.
It'll be another 1-2 pitch to Carrera. And he takes the fastball upstairs. It's 2-2. John, the only thing you do not want to happen here is any double play because Charlie's going to be up there, and he's going to be up there hungry after what happened an inning ago.
Yep.
2-2. The pitch. Breaking ball is up and away. That was close, but I think that was ball 3.
Yeah. No, I think that was a good call by the umpire. It was up, away, and it was outside. Yeah. It was up and outside.
But it wasn't. It
was a nice break to it.
It sure
just
was.
Not in enough.
3-2. The pitch, and he bounced it in there. It's going to score a run. And look at Chase Prouty get down that line.
I know.
And it's 3-0.
Just kind of trotting, and I'm like,
no, he's hey,
get down the line.
It's a
get down the line,
no.
touch it. You don't need to rub it in.
No, that was. I'll be honest with you. I think he took his time because Jaden was, taking on. I don't know if he had batting gloves or not batting gloves, but
he does. I don't know. I don't know.
Sometimes you wait for the hitter to clear.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Here's Charlie. That is awesome, though, as a base runner. When you just get to
he's got a bug problem, it looks like.
Literally trot from one base to the next, as did the other two. So the bases remain loaded. Fort Morgan leads 3-0. The pitch, fastball, a strike. He's taken 4 pitches in a row, John. I'm like, wow.
That pitch came awful fast when Charlie got in the box.
It did. That's true. A little bit of a quick pitch, but now Charlie will be ready. No balls and 1 strike. And the offering fouled off to the right.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to go down looking again.
But Charlie, I think he might have been guess hitting his first time up, where you think you're going to get a breaking ball, you get something else. Let's see what happens here. 0-2 to the senior shortstop, Charlie Langford. The offering, that's low.
And Charlie is a very disciplined hitter. He has been all year, batting over 500, and so.
A grand slam is 1 swing away. 1-2 pitch. Outside, went with a curveball. Did you see Charlie? He read that right off the hand. He wasn't even flinching.
No, he knew it was going to be going outside. He followed it all the way in and out.
2-2. Lincoln Lions gets a sign. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Oh, that thing was super high, and Charlie went chasing.
He did, and he knows it too.
John, even the discipline you were talking about can sometimes go away for 1 pitch.
Well, and he wanted that so bad because he's seeing all these ducks on the pond out there, and he wanted that hit so bad, and he just didn't lay off. And that's just, you got to have that discipline to stay off of that.
Jason Diaz hit that scorching line drive caught by Pisano in the 2nd inning. The pitch, that's a strike. Actually, that was the last out of the 1st inning. No balls and 1 strike. I'm impressed here with Lincoln Lions. He's recovered from that walk to Carrera, which forced in a 3rd run. And the offering fouled. 0-2.
That just missed a car out here on West Street. They were slowing down to look at the game and then realized the baseball was coming.
Yeah, that's drive out of the way. No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch swung on, line foul, first base side.
Boy, you'd love to see one of those stay fair because that would clear at least 2 runs.
Well, but that was clearly, you're right. It was a defensive swing because he knew.
Another one that was inside.
Yeah. I think he had to wait.
You just got to get around on those.
We might get a breaking ball or a very high fastball like he threw to Langford. Diaz awaiting the no ball, 2 strike pitch. Here it is. Swing and a foul on that breaking ball off to the right.
And it was a little high, but not like the one he threw to Charlie. Charlie was high.
Yeah. And Charlie's was a blazing fastball, which
it was.
That made it that much harder. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The bases are loaded, 3 across for the Mustangs in the 2nd. In the first of 2 games, Fort Morgan hosting Northridge. Fort Morgan will be the visiting team in Game 2. Kicking the pitch. Popped up, right side, foul territory, and going over and not being able to make the play with the glove positioned incorrectly was the catcher, Damian Alvarez. Is just a foul ball, John. That should have been a basket attempt at a catch.
It should have been, yeah. And I don't know. I mean, I saw the pitcher and the first baseman, and they're within 2 feet of him, and you've got all 3 of them standing there.
That's not the catcher's play. He's got to rip off the mask.
He does.
Call
everybody off. If you're going to go for it, go for it.
That's true. The offering swung on. That's popped up. Foul territory. Yep.
Out of play. Just barely.
That's 5 consecutive foul balls hit by Jason Diaz.
And that's a good at-bat. Every time.
Yes.
Because if I can get a pitcher to start wasting 5, 6, 7, 8 pitches on me.
A big difference between a 3-pitch at bat and a 6 or 7 pitch plate appearance.
Yep.
Here we go. It'll be a no ball, 2-strike pitch to Jason Diaz. Lincoln Lyons, the right-hander, gets a sign. And the offering swung on and grounded to second, a routine play. And the toss to first is high, but coming down on the bag was Joel Vasquez on a play made by Wyatt Hill. That was rather shaky on that throw.
I thought it was going to go over his glove there for a minute. If it had.
Would have been 2 more runs, 3 runs on 2 hits.
What did we just say about the errors?
Well, it cost them there. 3 runs, not on that play. 3 runs, 2 hits, 1 error, and the bases were left loaded. 3-0 Fort Morgan after 2 on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. I'm John Beltran. Let's move to the top of the third. John Prouty will rejoin me momentarily. Fort Morgan with a 3-0 lead on Northridge, hoping to snap a 6-game losing streak. I have no idea why they're giving Jaden Carrera so many warm-up pitches. This is very confusing to me. We take 1-minute breaks because they're very strict in high school baseball about that. But we will just adjust to the way the umpire manages the game in between innings. Stepping in for Northridge from the right side is Louis Pisano. He struck out looking. Excellent point guard, by the way, for Northridge. Really good dribbler of the basketball. Pisano, Casillas, and Mondragon in the visiting half of the third. The pitch. Breaking ball bounces in. 1 ball and no strikes to Louis Pisano. Laying down the sign is Jason Diaz. The offering. Strike. Took something off it at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Mustangs have their 3 runs on 2 hits. The lines are similar. 3-2-1-3 for Morgan. 0-2-1-3 for Northridge. Swung on and chopped the third. Prouty's got it. He sets. He throws it perfectly to first base for the out. 1 out. And I wonder if John saw that play. John had to leave momentarily. I mean, he put that baseball right in the middle of the glove, in between the shoulders of Michael Strange. Derek Casillas takes the off-speed pitch away. 1 ball and no strikes. With 1 out in the third. And the offering. That's a little bit up and away on the changeup, 2-0. Left-handed hitter for Northridge with the Mustangs up. By a score of 3-0, swung on and fouled off to the left. Two balls and 1 strike. I'm telling you, if you're out and about today, I mean, just come on out. It's so pleasant. No wind. The offering. Fastball is high. Ball 3, strike 1. Here to Derek Casillas. John, did you see the first hitter of the inning?
I did not.
Swung on and fouled down the left side. It was a perfect one-hopper to the third baseman, Chase Prouty, and he threw it to the first baseman, Strange, as perfectly as you could, right in between the chest cavity, so to speak. It was excellent.
So you're saying it was a good throw?
Well, you talk about being jinxing, the pitch. and he bounces that in.
Yep.
Oh, it was a great throw.
Well, good.
I mean, listen, it's a routine play,
right.
but okay, we have had throwing issues throughout the course of the year
Yep.
all over the infield.
Well, and you and I both said that there's nothing routine about routine. It should be. It's a routine out.
I love that.
Unless you miss it, and then it's all of a sudden it's not routine. And so if you think about it in your head as a routine, that's just inviting disaster.
Diego Mondragon now the hitter, the offering. Curveball is up and in.
Oh. It was a little bit inside, but not by much.
1 ball and no strikes. 3-0 Fort Morgan, 1 on, 1 out, top of the third. In the first of 2 games from Eddie Underwood Field. Short lead at first for Derek Casillas. The pitch. Curveball is grounded to third. Prouty drops it, picks it up, recovers, throws to first low, and it skips by Strange. And that one is up against the side of the fence. Rounding third is Casillas. He's headed towards the plate, and he will score. And it's 3-1. And the Mustangs commit their first miscue of the game there.
Yeah, no, that was a straight-up error.
Yeah.
I mean, again, there's nothing routine about,
You just said it. You just said it, yeah.
Fielded it on the hop, but then he made the bad throw. He clearly rushed it. You just got to make those good throws.
Yeah, I mean, when you recover, you want to throw with the same pace.
Right.
And if you don't throw with the same pace, it's exactly what happens. You rush it, and then
you're
asking your first baseman to bail you out on a throw that is short of the target. And he spiked it in the dirt,
and Strange couldn't make the scoop on it, but it was just a bad throw.
Here's Damian Alvarez. He lined to center. The pitch. Breaking ball is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Lincoln Lions on deck. Northridge on the board. That's an unearned run.
Yeah, and this is the spots we can't start giving those back up again.
Fastball, a strike on the outer half. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You need to just turn the page on that. You can't take it back.
No.
Turn the page on it and start playing baseball again.
Baseball is a game where you need a short memory.
Yes.
For the right side. The pitch. Swung on line foul, third base side.
Well, and like we've said many times, baseball is a game you learn by making errors.
And the Mustangs, actually, that's the second error Fort Morgan has in the game because J.J. had that drop fly ball in the first inning. So, again, they're on pace for 3 every game, and that's what they have to drastically reduce.
Yeah, they got to change that dynamic.
1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch. Curveball is outside. Oh. Good pitch, but that missed. That's a very good 1-2 pitch, but it was off the plate.
Yeah, and that was one that was designed to get him to chase outside.
2-2 to the catcher, Damian Alvarez. The offering bounces to Diaz. Nice block.
Yeah, and Diaz has been getting it done behind the plate this year, too. He's really been blocking well, and he's had some good outings behind the plate.
3 balls and 2 strikes to Alvarez. Let's see if Jaden comes in with one. Here it is. Not even close. A breaking ball or something that got away from him way outside.
Well, and I didn't understand. It looked like he's in motion going home, and he took a glance back. And I'm like, that's not the time to take your eye off of the catcher's mitt.
And Coach Langford will pay a visit to the mound. And that's the one thing that Fort Morgan needs to do. You score, you need a shutdown inning right after that, as opposed to you score and then you allow the other team to get right back into the game, whether it's walks, whether it's errors, whether it's just sloppy play. And that's what's happened here because Northridge has the go-ahead run at the plate, even though we're still early on in this game, and Northridge trails Fort Morgan by a score of 3-1. Yeah, Jaden's just got to find the plate all over again.
Yeah. Well, and you just don't want to give up. You have some good momentum going, and you want to keep that going. You don't want to hand it off to the other team.
Well, if you can keep it at 3-1, you're okay.
Yep.
But if it becomes 3-3, and then you got a hit, and all of a sudden now you're going in a back-and-forth game, that's not what you want.
Right. Well, and we've consistently been trying to fight back all the time, and we do that, but then we just can't hold it. So it'd be nice to just keep a lead for a while.
Lincoln Lions hit that scorching double into right center, and he takes a breaking ball in the dirt.
Well, and your second base runner's got a huge lead out there.
That's Diego Mondragon. Damian Alvarez at first. 3-1, Fort Morgan in the third. The pitch, strike.
Yeah, he laid that one in nice. Straight on fastball.
1 ball and 1 strike to Lincoln Lions. And Lions likes to spray the ball. Got to watch out for that left side. Throw to second, nothing doing. Mondragon back in.
Well, and as much as we talk about the low percentage throw to second base, at least make the effort. Don't just kind of slow spin and throw it.
Right. Yeah, you're just wasting energy.
Yeah.
Looking back, the pitch. Curveball is a beauty, but a little bit high, I guess.
Oh, that looked,
It's a good pitch.
It really was. And it looked like it dropped at the last second right in there. So I don't know what was wrong with that. It could have been a little high maybe.
2 balls and 1 strike. This is a hitter's count for Lincoln Lions. Carrera to the plate in the dirt. Man, I think he's using that curveball a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Because he can't find it.
Well, and I think he's forcing it now.
Well, ghost fastball changeup, but enough. All these curveballs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was working early, but it's hard to sustain that throughout the course of an entire game. He's 1 pitch away from loading the bases. Here it is. That's a strike.
Oh, got him on the outside corner.
With a fastball, it's 3-2 to Lincoln Lions. Not a lot of speed at second. The speed is at first base. Lions waste the pitch. Swung on, drilled inside the left field line. That one's going to bounce all the way. That should score 2. Casillas has got speed to burn. Stepping on third, rounds third. It's going to be a 2-run double for Lincoln Lions, his second double of the game. And Northridge has tied it at 3 in the third inning.
Well, and we just talked about that, how we get those leads and then we hand them right back. And at some point, we've got to learn how to not make those errors to give those runs back.
Well, and now Jaden has fallen behind the last 2 or 3 hitters, which has hurt him.
Yes.
Jacob Lerman struck out looking. First plate appearance. Looking back, the pitch popped up into shallow left field. J.J. Marquez is coming on. Makes the grab, 2 down. Back to second is Lincoln Lions. Here is Joel Vasquez, who grounded to first. This is a huge hitter to get, John. He's the number 7 hitter. You get this guy, you go 8, 9, and 1 in the 4th inning.
Yeah.
You've got to shorten the game by getting hitters in the bottom of the lineup, by retiring them. And I'm not sure we have here Charlie Langford out to talk to his pitcher. You know what? I hope they're not talking about some sort of pickoff here.
Well, I hope so too.
Well, yeah, you get the hitter, there's 2 down.
Let's just go at the hitter and get him. You got 2 outs. Get your hitter.
Let me look at Vasquez. Again, it was 0 for 1, and he takes the breaking ball beauty for a strike. Nope, that's 21. Check that. That's a different player, it looks like.
Yeah.
Brecken Anderson. Yeah, that's Anderson hitting. I was going to say, that didn't look like the same guy we saw earlier. The pitch, swing and a miss. Threw that one right by him. It's 0-2.
Well, Lions wants to go.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You got this guy up there, and you're overmatching him.
Yeah.
Lions shouldn't even exist as far as Carrera is concerned. That's down and in with a fastball.
That was a good placement on it, good spot. Just a little bit inside.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down, 3 across in the third for the visitors. The pitch, swing and a miss through the fastball right by him, but the damage is done. Northridge in the third inning scores 3 runs on just 1 hit. It was a double by Lincoln Lions, a Mustang air, and 1 left. 2.5 complete. Fort Morgan 3, Northridge 3 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's move to the bottom of the third in game one. Oh, boy, John, we could be out here till 8:30 tonight.
Well, we just talked about that.
We've been here an hour, and we're only in the bottom of the third. And maybe they'll condense it to a 15-minute break between games, but it's at least going to be 15, if not 20.
Yeah. We could be here for a while.
Fort Morgan 3, Northridge 3. Miguel Davila did score the first run of the game as he walked. And that's the other thing, these pitchers, especially Carrera in the third inning, just too many walks. And that will extend the game. The pitch swung on and grounded to second, a three-hopper, and an easy throw to first, a sidearm toss by Wyatt Hill, one down.
Well, that's what you don't want to do to start off that inning. You want to get some hits, even if it's just some loopers into the outfield.
Here is Angel Lopez. Had a base hit his first time up. That was that screamer into left center that evaded the shortstop Casillas' glove. The pitch into dirt with a breaking ball.
Yeah, he wanted to repeat on that one, but
1 ball and no strikes.
I think he'd realized he'd be killing a snake if he swung at that.
And the offering. Hit off the end of the bat to first. And off the glove of the first baseman,
Another
Vasquez. Error. And that will allow Lopez to reach, and that's another error by Vasquez. It's almost like he committed one way instead of the other.
Yeah, I don't know, and he is struggling out there
oh
on
my gosh.
first base today.
Very bad first base play today. That's the second error again on him, and the second error by the team. Here's Isaiah Ortiz, who struck out looking.
But that's good for us, and I'll take it.
Well, that's why you put the ball on the ground. Hitting
is.
the ball in the air does no good unless you hit it in the gap.
Right. Well, you and I have said many times, hitting it out there, that's a good out.
That's it. That's all it is. Fastball below the knees. It's 1-0.
That was a good take by Ortiz on that one.
Fort Morgan 3, Northridge 3, bottom 3, 1 out, 1 on. Lincoln Lyons, the right-hander, gets a sign from Alvarez. Long pause. The pitch swung on and chopped the third, a two-hopper. The place to second for 1, barely in time.
Yeah.
But the play
Angel
is
got a jump on that and was stealing, I think, anyway. Or it could have been a hit and run.
Mondragon makes the play to Wyatt Hill. 2 down, Ortiz now at first. Chase Prouty hit that fielder's choice.
Well, let's hope this isn't another check swing hit.
No, you want to swing away. He loves swinging away.
He does.
Lyons looks in. And the offering. That's low. Down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. See, just like Carrera had to get the 7th hitter out, so he faces 8, 9, and 1. That's what Lyons wants to do. So this is up to Chase to extend the inning and try to turn over that lineup as quickly as possible. Throw back to first, back in diving.
That was close,
Isaiah
too.
Ortiz. It's a good move.
It was. It was a good move. And Ortiz has a decent lead out there, so that's good because you want to get in the pitcher's head.
Well, this is when Josh Langford likes to run his runners.
Yeah.
2 down, you can move him into scoring position with a 2-out base hit. The offering, up and in with a fastball, 2-0. And now even more so. You know you need a strike out of this pitcher. If Ortiz is to run, it's going to be on this pitch. If not, he won't run at all until the ball's hit or until there's a walk issue. 2 balls and no strikes. Lyons to the plate. That's a strike. Fastball on the outer half at the knees. Ball 2, strike 1. With 2 down at the bottom of the third inning. Again, that's a decent lead for Ortiz. The pitch. Ooh, nearly clipped him, and it
did clip him.
It grazed him. I heard something.
The helmet. It looked like it clipped the helmet. I heard it. I heard the zip, and then into the gloves. So, yeah, it clipped the helmet.
Braden Hilser had an RBI single in the second inning. So Hilser now steps in against Lincoln Lions. Tied at 3 in the third. Ortiz at second, Prouty at first. The pitch, swing and a miss on a nasty breaking ball. It's 0-1.
Yeah, he's got to get out ahead of those. He was way behind that.
Or just take the pitch.
Yeah, or just take it.
Yeah, because that had a lot of action. And the pitch, fisted down the right field line. That could be trouble reaching out, and it's caught by the first baseman Vasquez. With all the struggles he's had, he made a nice play backpedaling towards the line. And the inning is over. No runs, no hits, 1 error and 2 left. 3 complete. Fort Morgan 3, Northridge 3 on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Oh, John and I having fun up here. Top of the 4th inning. Fort Morgan 3, Northridge 3. And a lead off for Northridge in the visiting half of the 4th. The number 8 hitter. And that is Justin Sanchez, who walked. See, there's like 3 different types of walks, John. Leadoff walks, which are terrible. Walks that might not hurt you. And then, this is the word, a leadoff walk to a number 8 hitter or 9 hitter is even worse than the leadoff walk to any hitter.
You got to go straight at these guys and get these first 2 outs. They got to be just strikeouts.
Jada needs about a 10 or 12 pitch inning, something quick. The offering. Swung on, popped up, foul territory, right side. Michael Strange along the fence is going to drop the ball.
That was a tough one, though, because it went right off his glove as he was hitting the fence.
Yeah, because he was up against the fence, we will not score that an error. Just give it a. But if he would have been stationary, that would have been an error.
Yeah, and he was still moving.
You can assign an error,
yeah,
even when the at-bat is extended. But you're right, that was not an easy one. He was still moving. But if he squeezed it, I think he makes that catch.
I think he does.
And the offering, fouled off to the right.
So that's good. We're, right here. Now you just got to throw something nasty right here and get that strikeout.
That high fastball can come in handy.
It sure does.
Tough to get on top of that one.
High fastball inside.
0-2 pitch. Swung on line. That's a mistake pitch right down the middle. A base hit to center field. You cannot give a fat one like that.
No, because that was, you had 2 strikes on him and no balls.
Right down the middle.
Yeah. Make him go chase. Don't throw him something that's a meatball to hit.
Yeah, that is a mistake pitch, and that's the 4th hit of the game for Northridge. Here's Wyatt. Well, let's see. That is Wyatt Hill.
Yeah.
And he struck out looking his first time up. There is such a thing, John, as throwing too many strikes.
Yes.
The pitch going to bunt, and he lays it. That's a beautiful bunt, third base side. It's barehanded by Prouty. Third to first is going to be late. It's a base hit.
Oh.
Yeah, there's nothing he could do there. That's an easy base hit. The ball was bunted perfectly.
Yeah, and he was through the bag before he could get the ball there. It literally only rolled, 2 feet into the grass?
Well, that's the thing. You could already tell from here. I don't have to step on that field, John. That's a slow-moving infield with the grass. The grass is a little bit thicker, and a bunt like that, as long as you got enough punch on it, it's going to die.
Well, it had completely stopped.
There's nothing an infielder could do about it.
No.
And Louis Pisano is 0 for 2, and he's a good hitter. This is dangerous for the Mustangs, and he takes a breaking ball outside.
Yeah, this is trouble right here.
Northridge is threatening to take the lead for the first time of the game with first and second, nobody out, tied at 3 in the top of the 4th inning. 1 ball and no strikes with Derek Casillas in the on-deck circle. The stretch and the offering. Strike with a fastball in the outside corner.
Yep. Pisano still doesn't like those. He didn't say anything that time, but his body language said something completely different.
Not if he wants to stay in the game.
Yeah.
1-1. The pitch. Swung on line, base into the left field on a slow curveball. Marquez has got it to hold the runner at third. And the bases are loaded, and Northridge has 6 hits in the game. And Fort Morgan only has 2 hits in the game.
Yeah. Well, and I'm just, I see Coach Langford out there, but it's one of those, do you start getting somebody up in the bullpen? Or, you don't want to let them go too deep into this.
The pitch. Popped foul. That's a mistake to swing at that pitch.
Yeah, it sure
was way up in the zone by Casillas. He singled and walked. Why are you swinging at that pitch?
Yeah, because he wants to bring in some RBIs.
Well, but
he's hunting.
That's just helping Fort Morgan.
It is, but he's hunting right now.
And he's got a huge gap in right center. Hilzer's played along the line.
Yeah.
And the offering way outside with a changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike. The infield is back looking for the double play. One ball, 1 strike, nobody out, top 4. The windup by Jaden. The pitch, drilled deep into right field. Hilzer goes way back, and it is...
Oh, ground rule double.
Yep. It took a bounce, and it went over the fence. It's 5-3 Northridge on a 2-run double by Derek Casillas. John, now I know why he swung at the high pitch, because that I don't think was too high, but it was elevated.
It was elevated.
And John, I'll say this again. It's hard to find an ugly left-handed swing. That was a gorgeous swing.
It was.
And he topped that baseball.
Well, and Hilzer was playing in, and he should have been playing a little deeper.
Yeah, I still think it's a hit anyway. He was hit so deep, but you're right.
Yeah,
that just
he
makes
had
it.
Been playing him really deep on that.
Yeah, it was drilled.
Yeah, it really was. It was clear over his head. Hit the warning track and bounced right out of the field.
Diego Mondragon has been on base twice. He hit the fly ball to JJ that was dropped, and the bouncer to Chase that he threw into the ground. The pitch. That's popped up. They should score a run. Lopez in center field to his left will make the running catch. Tagging up is the speedy Pisano. He'll score. And to third is Casillas. Sac fly by Mondragon makes it 6-3. And now Northridge has scored 3 runs for the 2nd consecutive inning. And they're still not done, John. They got a man at third.
Yeah, they were challenging whether he left early.
You know what? I think it was close.
I think it was too. It looked like just as Angel was getting there, as the ball was dropping, he took off. I don't know that he...
Yeah, there was one last year that David Keller was called out leaving early.
Yeah.
Which I thought at the time was a legitimate call. Because you have to be... My dad told me, you don't have to be sure. You got to be sure that you're sure.
Right.
You cannot take a chance, especially when you're fast like Pisano. The pitch. Breaking ball is low. 1 ball and no strikes.
But I know Ortiz felt like he left early because he was over there next to the bat.
Yeah, no, that might have been legit had they appealed. The offering fouled off to the right. Alvarez is lined out and walked. Well, the good news, John, baseball has no time limit, so there's plenty of at-bats.
There's plenty for everybody.
But the number one goal here, forget about the run scoring, play clean defense. They got to play clean defense. Time is called. I don't know what the...
I don't either, because I watched the umpire signal him to come in, and
I don't know.
He was going, and then the umpire stopped him.
This guy runs a tight ship.
Well, but when you go like this, that means to the pitcher, you pitch.
Exactly. The pitch. Swung on and lifted into right field. Braden Hilzer to his right. Now makes the catch back to his left. Runner tags. That's Casillas to the plate. He's going to score.
Yeah,
that's 2 consecutive sac flies. And it's 7-3 Northridge. Give the RBI to Damian Alvarez. Two down.
But again, I didn't understand him going out there and talking to Carrera when I clearly watched him with his hand. His right hand goes out and he goes like this.
Yeah.
That, as a pitcher, that tells me I'm cleared to pitch.
I'm with you. I didn't get that either.
They kind of chastised him like he was going early, and he wasn't.
Lincoln Lyons has been a terror. 2 for 2 with a 2-run double. And he swings and misses at a fastball. Northridge has scored 7 unanswered runs. erasing a 3-0 Fort Morgan lead. And the offering. Swung on, grounded foul, third base side. This is what is so frustrating watching this Fort Morgan team. They have all this potential. You
Right.
get out to a 3-0 lead, and all of a sudden, oh, we can't stand prosperity.
Right. You
And
just have to start
it's
giving it
almost
back.
like, yeah, and they can't do it. Breaking balls way outside.
Well, and it's like we've got to challenge. We're not challenging ourselves enough or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. But we got to figure out a way because honestly, our record should be a lot better than it is. But we keep doing, we're playing good baseball, and then we kind of, well,
That one
that's
is lifted to
trouble.
left. Marquez going back, and it sails over his head. This is going to be the third consecutive double for Lincoln Lions.
Well, and that was really a fielding error because he ran in 10 feet and then it went over his head.
Yeah, it scored a double, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
The angle was not the correct angle taken.
No.
I mean, you go straight back on that.
And it's a line drive into the outfield. It's a hard hit ball. You stay where you're at, and if you got to play the bounce, you play the bounce. But you got to get a read on it first.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It was a little lapse there in judgment because you know when that ball's scorched,
Yeah.
you've got to take the appropriate angle and go back.
Well, and a lot of that is just experience. I mean,
Without a doubt.
it's a young team, and the experience level is not high from a lot of the teams. So, and that shows.
Jacob Lerman takes a ball. It's 1-0 the pitch. Fouled off to the right. 0 for 2. Struck out looking and popped out. 7-3 Northridge in game 1 in the top of the 4th inning. Lincoln Lions, John, has 3 doubles. He's got more hits by himself than Fort Morgan as a team, which is why the Mustangs have got to respond once they get to the plate. Yeah, Angel Lopez had that one hit, and then Hilser with the RBI single. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So not only are they out hitting Fort Morgan, they've all those doubles. Mustangs got to wake up. That's a fastball high.
Well, and I see Lincoln Lions is getting a huge lead out there at second, and nobody is challenging him, trying to keep him honest out there.
Right. Well, that's why this team is not, John, they're 3-9, but I mentioned all those losses to really good teams.
Yeah.
Throw back to second. That covering there was Ortiz. They split with Frederick. They did not sweep Frederick. Fort Morgan swept Frederick.
Right.
But they also beat Mountain View 15-5.
I saw that.
With 11 runs in the 3rd inning.
And honestly, we should have split with Mountain View. But
At the very least, yeah, the pitch. That's a strike.
Yep.
With a breaking ball, it's 2-2.
But again, coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Well, it's the winning mentality. You
is.
gotta have that edge, and then execute. The pitch, foul down the right side. It's gonna be out of play.
Yeah.
Remains at 2-2. Is giving chase were Strange and Hilser. Well, I don't know if Carrera will be on the mound in the 5th inning, or the 4th inning, I should say. 5th inning, because
5th inning, yeah.
he's up to 79 pitches. They might give him one more. And of the 7 runs he has allowed, 6 have been earned. There's only 1 unearned run. 2-2. The offering. Called strike 3. Fastball outside corner, but again, 4 runs on a whopping 5 hits. No errors and 1 left. To the bottom of the 4th we go. Northridge 7, Fort Morgan 3 on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Bottom of the 4th inning we go. I'm John Beltran with John Prouty. 7-3 Northridge. Lincoln Lions has taken control of this game. He only had that 1 bad inning in the 2nd, and he's got 3 doubles, including a 2-run double.
Well, big thing is you got to hope we got Marquez, the number 9 hitter. We're back to the top of the order, and that our bats are ready to come alive.
Well, your best hitter's not only 0 for 2, but he struck out in the 2nd time. Charlie struck out with the bases loaded, and that's very un-Langfordish.
Yes. Well, and he swung at something that was it was a horrible pitch. I mean, it was way high.
Very high.
And he wanted to hit so bad, but as a good pitcher, that's exactly what you want. You know that they want to hit.
Marquez hit a grounder to first that was misplayed by Vasquez. But, John, do you notice there's a positional change at first? That looks like Mondragon is out there now.
It does.
The pitch. And that I think it
hit
him. Did I get him somewhere in the hand? It almost sounded like the knob of the bat, though. That sounded like the knob of the bat, to be honest with you, John. It doesn't deflect that drastically off a hitter. I think that's...
Well, I think it hit his hand, but it hit the bat.
Right.
At that point, if it hit the bat...
If it hit the bat and it hits its hand, it's a foul ball.
It's not a foul ball. If it hits his bat and hits his hand, it's a foul ball.
Right. Because it's like if you fouled off your ankle at the plate.
Right. But he immediately dropped the bat and grabbed his hand, so it hit him on that pinky.
Yeah, but I think that's a foul ball. That to me...
Well,
I heard a clank up there.
Coach out there arguing that it went off the knob.
Well, he's arguing that it went off the knob and it didn't make contact with the hitter whatsoever. Right? Because if it goes off the knob and it just goes off the knob towards the pitcher, then it's a regular play. But if it goes off the knob, it deflects off the pitcher's pinky. And who knows? John, that's so hard.
It is. It's a hard call. And, I mean, I get a coach arguing that call. However, the umpires made the call. They're not going to reverse it.
And it's still a strike.
Yeah.
And the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball inside.
And that almost hit him.
Hey, you see what made an appearance?
He was standing in there. Yeah, I see the sun's poking its head out.
A big time.
We'll see if the temperature warms up again.
And the offering. Down and away. Lincoln Lyons up to 60 pitches, so he's in pretty good shape to go at least 6 innings, unless he gets into trouble in one of these frames. And the offering. That's down and away again. It's 3-1. That'll get the Mustangs back in the game if you get the big hitters up there with some Mustangs on base. 3-1 to J.J. Marquez. Both teams have trended 5. And the one that hurt Fort Morgan, they were up 3-0 with 1 out and the bases loaded. Did not score again in the second. The pitch. And that one hit him. Rode inside and got him around the left shoulder.
Yep.
So J.J. is on.
So that's a costly mistake by your pitcher there.
Well, that's a second hit batter after he got chased earlier.
Well, so now you got a runner on. You got your top of your order up.
Let's see who.
So now we see if we can start generating some hits here.
21 or 20.
I don't know what we're doing here. I think he's getting a pinch runner.
Yeah, but I'm not sure who. I don't have him. He's on.
That's Riley Elric.
Oh, that's Riley. Yeah, I should have had him on this one. So Elric will run for J.J. Marquez. And now they'll send up Jaden Carrera. It's going to be a long 4 or 5 hours, at least 5 hours at the ballpark. Pull out the lineup card. Yeah, this old school way of umpiring kind of drives me insane. Man, this is a doubleheader. I hope they're informed of that. You don't have to wait that long.
We're going to be here a while.
Well, and high schoolers can make 7 innings seem like 10 innings if they're not playing a solid game.
Yeah. Be getting out of here.
I mean, major league games are going quicker than high school games because they move them along.
Right. Well, you got that pitch clock.
And the offering squaring to bunt, and he misses it altogether. And Fort Morgan in this game, bunting-wise, John, has been awful. They have missed bunts.
Yeah.
They bunted them foul. They're just not doing what they need to do. Jaden has grounded out and walked. He's 0 for 1. They've got to start executing on this small ball because we saw an excellent bunt by Northridge earlier in this game.
Right.
Jaden awaits. The pitch. Strike. Inside corner.
Yeah, and that looked like it was inside on the line. That was inside because I watched the glove come out. I think he kind of stole one there.
No balls and 2 strikes to Jaden Carrera. 1-step lead for Elric at first. The offering. And he bounces that one off the face mask of Alvarez up the first base side. Elric to second on the wild pitch.
And I saw the catcher setting up on the outside on that one. and trying to get Carrera to chase.
We're in the bottom of the fourth inning in game one. Northridge leads 7-3. Maybe they should have started this at 2:30 or 3.
Yeah.
Starting at 3:30 is not
ideal.
No. The stretch. The offering. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball in the dirt. Catcher will pick it up and fire to first for the out. Jaden Carrera is out number 1.
Well, we'll see if Langford can get something going today.
Struck out looking and swinging.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic of Charlie.
Well, one swing. He's got 2 home runs. They're right back in the game.
Yeah.
Down by 4 in the fourth. Lincoln Lyons to the plate, squaring to bunt, and he takes the breaking ball down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. I'm not sure why Jason Diaz on deck has got his shin guards on. There's only 1 out.
And he's going to hit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's an outside possibility of a double play, but
well, I'd say there's about a 99.9% chance.
Yeah, exactly.
Be a bat.
And the 1-0 lifted to deep right center field. That's got plenty of carry. Pisano to his left is going to make the running catch. Tagging up is Elric. He heads to third, and the ball gets loose. But it's going to be backed up over there at third, and there's 2 down. And that is the benefit of having speed. Pisano, John, made that look easy in right center.
He did, and that was not an easy catch at all. And really, it looked like the wind may have carried it a little bit, so it made it even that much more difficult.
Yeah, the ball was almost tailing away from him, still tracked it down. Straight up at 5 o'clock, this is Morgan County's B106 KPRB Brush Fort Morgan. Jason Diaz is lined to center and grounded to second. He's 0 for 2. Out of the windup is Lyons. The pitch. Top to third, charging, fielding, setting, throwing on the run, and that's going to be late.
Oh, he's safe.
Should be late. It's going to be a base hit. Diaz got down the line.
He did, so that's going to be an RBI.
Yep, scoring is Elric at 7-4.
So it looks like they're sending Urias out there as a pinch runner for the catcher.
Yeah, Wyatt Hill now at third. He was charging hard, but nothing he could do with that one. Here is Davila. He's walked and grounded out. Well, that's a little momentum you need.
It is, and it gets, it gets a run on the board, and at least that way you're getting some runs in an inning. You're not getting blanked.
Lincoln Lyons now out of the stretch. Well, we need to move this game along is when Fort Morgan gets on the field a 1-2-3 inning.
Yes.
Everything seems to be forever in the dirt.
Well, we need to generate some hits and some runs and then come back up and go 1-2-3 and get back out there and start hitting the ball again. And that's good baseball.
It's great baseball.
Yeah, it's great baseball. And you get to start that second game a little bit earlier.
Needed. 1-0 pitch. Fastball is up and in, 2-0.
So it seems like Lincoln Lyons might be losing a little bit of control over the ball.
He is racking up pitches. 2-0. Fastball, a strike on the inner half. 2 balls and 1 strike to Miguel Davila.
I do like that the sun is back out again.
It is cooling off a little bit, even though the sun is out. The offering runner going. That's low. No throw. Diaz with a steal. 3 balls and 1 strike.
That was Urias with the steal.
Oh, you're right. My bad. You're right. Elric scored.
Yeah, Elric did
score. Elric scored. The stretch. And the offering. Swung on and fisted up the middle. The shortstop has got it right behind the bag. Throw to first is in time. Derek Casillas retires Miguel Davila. And the inning is over. The Mustangs are back on the board. 1 run on 1 hit. No errors and 1 left. 4 complete. Northridge 7, Fort Morgan 4 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's head to the 5th inning. John Beltran with John Prouty, 7-4 Northridge in Game 1. J.J. Marquez is the new pitcher, and they need 3 good innings out of him to stay in the game and give Fort Morgan a chance to snap a 6-game losing streak. This team was 5-2 at one point.
Yeah, we were off to a great start, and then have just kind of got into this losing streak and haven't been able to get out of it again.
Northridge will be sending up Brecken Anderson, Justin Sanchez, and Wyatt Hill. Northridge has 7 runs on 8 hits. Mustangs 4 runs on 3 hits. Both teams have committed 2 errors. Northridge has left 5 on base, and Fort Morgan has left 6. In between games, we'll get back to some music, and then we'll take it back here once we get the lineup set for Game 2. But if I had to guess right now, start time is at least an hour away after 6 o'clock, unless we get some quick innings, and we haven't had a quick inning since the first. Anderson struck out swinging against the starter, Jaden Carrera. The pitch, strike, fastball down the middle above the knees.
And that's a great way to start. Go right at him, see what he's got.
Yeah, hopefully he can start and finish that way.
Yep.
Marquez turns and fires. Popped up, third base side. Prouty in foul territory, running out of room, and it's over the fence. It's 0-2.
Yeah, went over the fence by about 2 feet.
Not by much, yeah.
Not by much.
And that makes a hitter very happy. They extend the at-bat. So no balls and 2 strikes. Stubbs Gas and Oil off I-76 and exit 66A in Wiggins. Gas, food, and your travel accessory. Stubbs Gas and Oil. Swung on line. Left field coming on his Carrera. Makes the catch to his right. 1 down. Let's see. I think it, yep. Yeah, that looks like Jaden along the line.
Yeah, I think that's Carrera out there. Yeah, it is.
1 out, and that ball was tattooed, but he got a great jump on it, John.
He did, and he didn't get ants in his pants, stayed put, and let it come right to him.
I love that phrase back from the 1970s that they used to use when we were growing up. Here's Sanchez, swung on and grounded left side. The shortstop Langford charges, sets, fires, 2 outs.
Yep, and Langford did exactly what you're supposed to do. Take your time and make the throw.
Sanchez now 1 for 2 in the game for Wyatt Hill, who was struck out and then executed that gorgeous bunt.
Right. And I'd be looking for that bunt again.
I
got
agree.
away with 1.
Especially with 2 down and the bases empty.
Right. Lay down a good bunt because corners are back. Everybody's back.
Winding the pitch. Popped up. This will end the inning if Diaz can make the play. If he's got room, he's run out of room. God, I could have sworn that was going to be in play.
Yeah, when I first looked at it. Of course, I didn't want to stick my head out there because my luck, that's when I get a knot on my forehead.
Oh, yeah, no, we don't like any of those.
No, I've had enough of those in my life. I don't need anymore.
Oh, yeah. No balls and 1 strike. Winding the pitch. Swung on line, and that's foul. Right off the fist along the third base side.
And that was just foul. Boy, if he'd planted that in, it'd have been at least a single, if not a double. Looked like Carrera had a pretty good jump on it, though, so I think he'd probably held him to a single. I'd rather get an out right here.
0-2. The offering. Swung on, grounded to third. Tricky hop. Nice job by Chase, and a perfect throw to first for the out. And that's a defense the Mustangs need to be playing all season long. It is 1-2-3 in the top of the 5th inning. Let's head to the bottom of the 5th in 1 minute. Northridge 7, Fort Morgan 4 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Bottom 5. Lincoln Lions remains on the mound for Northridge, and they lead Fort Morgan 7-4. The Mustangs have the 5, 6, and 7 hitters Lopez, Ortiz, and Prouty. And he's in good shape, 74 pitches through 4. He's averaging about 18 and a half an inning.
Yeah, we need to ring some pitches up on him right here.
Yeah.
Start getting some hits and batting around.
On this pace, he will not go the distance.
No.
But he could get you through 6 innings.
He could.
Lopez singled and aboard on an error on the first baseman, which has been replaced now. That's Diego Mondragon at first. There's the wine and offering. Swung on and chopped down the third base side and dropped over there. Now the long throw to first is going to be late, and that'll be an error on Wyatt Hill. Once you drop it and you're behind the bag,
yeah,
you don't have a shot.
You don't. If you're behind the bag and you drop that, I don't know. Again, routine is never routine. Because I just think he thought it was an easy
Angel's
field
got
and
enough
throw.
speed. He might have been able to beat it out, but we'll never know because the ball was not fielded cleanly. That's why you have to score the hit and not assume, or score the error and not assume a base hit.
Well, he was across the bag 2 steps before the ball even got there.
Right. Is Angel going to get a courtesy runner here?
I don't know.
Well, remember, he's been banged up, has he not, John?
He has. He's had some issues with hamstrings this year. And so I don't know.
It's got to be Zwedzig out there.
It is. That's Keegan. I don't know if he's because it looked like he was not moving fast down the line.
Right.
So I'm wondering if he
re-aggravated it.
Yep. And it's both hamstrings, not just one. So you got to start doing some physical therapy.
I'll tell you what, if that's happening at the high school level, it doesn't get much better when you get older.
Well, pretty soon one of those hamstrings will snap, and then you're really in trouble.
Well, I've never had a hamstring injury, so I don't. But I know they're very painful.
Yep, I've had a groin injury. That was it. But that took me a year and a half to heal up on.
A strikeout and a fielder's choice by Ortiz. The pitch, fastball is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Northridge has now committed 3 errors to Fort Morgan's 2. 7-4 Northridge in Game 1. Mustangs will be the visiting team for Game 2. The stretch. And the offering. Low, throw to first, and it's off the glove of Mondragon into foul territory. That's going to give him 1,
if not 2.
He'll probably, he'll stay at second. It's going to be an error.
Yep.
Not the best throw, but Mondragon had to go off his glove. That's 2 errors in the inning. John, that's why when you throw behind the runner, you got to make sure. Now the board says 2-0. 1-1 is the count.
Yep.
1 ball, 1 strike. The stretch by Lincoln Lions. And the pitch. It's over, but low. Ball 2, strike 1. They believe in keeping things simple. Bank of Colorado. Another outstanding sponsor of Morgan County Athletics. Bank of Colorado. 2 balls, 1 strike, the pitch. That is strike 2. Fastball on the outer half. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Isaiah Ortiz. Coach Langford wants a clarification of the count. He thought that 1-0 pitch was a ball. That's why he was, and the board is wrong. It was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, now 2-2. Yeah, and the home plate umpire made it clear that the board was wrong. That's why he, instead of 2-0, he put up split fingers.
Right.
No, coach cannot rely on the board. You rely on the umpire.
Yeah, got to know the count. If you don't know the count, you turn around and you look at.
Well, because he called for a take.
Yeah.
He called for a take, thinking that it was a different count.
Thinking that it was 3-1.
That's correct. And now it's 2-2. And the offering. Swung on and fisted up the middle behind the bag. Second baseman fires to first sidearm. That's going to be late. It's a base hit. I'm telling you, that's a good play out there at second, but nothing you can do on a ball that was squibbed out there.
Well, and he had to make the scoop and then had to turn to make that throw, and it was enough time with Ortiz's speed for him to get there. So now you got runners at the corners.
Yeah, and I'm not sure who was at second. That could be Brecken Anderson. No, that's not Anderson. I'm not sure because they switched out infielders, but that's the right play. That's just a lucky hit for the Mustangs. Fisted out there in the right spot.
Yeah, it really was.
Chase Prouty, a fielder's choice, and hit by a pitch 0 for 1 with an RBI opportunity at third. Still nobody out. This is the big chance for the Mustangs, trailing by only 3. Lions to first, back in diving is Isaiah Ortiz. Don't want to take chances on the bases.
Nope. I mean, he's getting a good lead, and you want to be in the pitcher's head. You want to at least make the pitcher realize that you're a threat, because then that gets the focus off.
The stretch. Long pause to pitch. Fastball is up and in.
And that's what got him last time, too, is that up and in pitch. And I think it went off his face shield.
81 pitches deep as Lincoln Lions. 1 ball and no strikes. At third is Wedzig. At first is Ortiz. The offering fouled off the bat to the screen. 1-1. Yeah, you want to score at least a run in this inning, at least one.
Yeah.
You're 7-5 down with 2 innings to go. You're in good shape, but you cannot, especially with nobody out, you cannot squander any base runner at third.
Well, you got 2 runners on. You don't want to, and no outs. You don't want to give up any. You want to at least get 1 run.
Yeah, ground ball in the infield will be good enough just to score the 1 run. The pitch swung on. That's grounded left side. That's headed for left field. It's going to be an infield hit anyway. Long throw to first is going to be late. A base hit for Chase Prouty. That's the second infield hit, but that one was hit even more in the hole.
It was. It was just another squib hit.
And the Mustangs lead 7-5 as Wedzig crosses home plate. And talk about 2 balls that were placed perfectly.
Yeah,
we
just
saw
tapped it, barely in the dirt and dying off. So, I mean, forces them to get that, you got to get a really immaculate play, and it just wasn't going to be there.
Nothing Casillas could do. Here's Braden Hilser. All of a sudden, Fort Morgan has 5 hits in a game, back-to-back infield singles.
And this is where you start picking those teams apart.
Squaring to bunt. Takes it low. That's a good play there by Hilser, knowing that was not a strike, and he pulled the bat back. He's 1 for 2, an RBI single in the second. Then he popped out in his second at bat. 1 ball and no strikes. This could be the last hitter for Lincoln Lions if Hilser reaches. Squaring to bunt. And he bunts it beautifully. Third base bunt. That's going to be a base hit. Another infield hit. The third baseman, Wyatt Hill, did not commit to the ball, and there was no way that the pitcher Lyons was going to make the play.
And here comes the Grizzlies coach out to Lyons. That may be it for him for the day.
John, Fort Morgan, prior to that, had really botched bunt attempts, and that was outstanding.
That was a beautiful bunt. Got it right in the grass. I don't know why third base didn't even make a motion to go.
Yeah, I would have thought that.
But he was playing deep on the bag. He wasn't pushed in on the corners.
But you commit all the way.
You have
commit.
to.
The only play was not at third.
Take off.
I think he thought, well, we might have a play at third. There was no play at third.
No.
The base runner got there too quickly.
Well, and not only that, you got to trust that your shortstop's going to cover third if you commit to that bunt.
Yeah, even that. Yeah, you're right, but that's tough. He's got to range over. No, that plays to first.
Yeah.
I still think Hilser would have beat it out, but once he decommitted, that was it.
Yeah, then you just loaded the bases now.
Well, Lyons is going to stay in there, and quite frankly, he's not pitched bad in this inning. Fort Morgan has placed these balls perfectly.
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, our bats did come alive, and we've had some good hitting, and we're in a great position right now with 3 runners on and no outs.
J.J. Marquez aboard on an error and was hit by a pitch. He can help his own cause. He could be the pitcher of record if the Mustangs tie the game or even take the lead. The infield is playing in. The offering. Swing and a miss. A fastball right by him. It's 0-1.
Yeah, and everybody's playing in right now.
Ortiz, Prouty, and Hilser, third to first for the Mustangs. Nobody out, 7-5 in the fifth inning. The pitch. Fisted foul, right side. It's 0-2. What will be the pitch selection here for Lincoln Lions? He's got a bevy of pitches he could choose from ahead in the count.
Kicking high fastball right here.
And the 0-2. Right down the middle for a strike. That's a perfect pitch at the knees.
Why didn't you? Yeah, I don't know why he didn't swing at that one.
Well, I'll tell you why, John. I think he was guess hitting.
Oh.
I think he was thinking curveball or something.
Yeah.
0-2. Rarely do you see. Remember when Carrera threw an 0-2 and it was right down the middle?
Right down the middle. Boom.
So I think JJ was thinking, no, they're not going to throw me a fastball.
Yeah.
Here's Carrera, 0 for 2. Struck out his last time up. And he swings and tops it slowly to third. The play's going to be at the plate. And there's the force for the out. Sliding in there was Isaiah Ortiz, but the force is made on the play by Hill. 5-2, 2 down. John, this is the most critical hitter of the game right now.
Yep. Well, and you got 2 outs, bases loaded, then you got your number 1 hitter coming up.
And that number 1 hitter had his best plate appearance in his last at bat when he hit that scorching fly ball to deep right center. But Charlie 0 for 3, struck out his first 2 times. Can you believe how they must not know he goes the other way well. Look how shallow. If he goes to right field, he's going to clear the bases. The pitch, breaking ball is up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. I mean, I cannot believe
Charlie ducked that, or else it was going to be in his ear.
They don't. Justin Sanchez playing so shallow and right. Charlie's got major power. The pitch, that's low, 2-0.
Well, and either they don't know what he can do, or they don't respect him, and that's a mistake.
I'm hoping it's the former. They just don't know that he's capable of that. And the 2-0 offering, up and in. Now this could be Lions' last hitter if he walks Langford, unless I'm telling you. I know this sounds crazy. They're pitching around him, but they know. They know
he's a hitter.
Pitching around with the bases loaded.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
It means they'll give up a run. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Is Charlie going to swing at the 3-0? He does not, and it bounces in. And in fact, there was not a single close pitch to hit. Charlie, out of habit,
held his hand out, not realizing it's ball 4.
With the bases loaded.
And I know Prouty kind of looked at him and went, "What are you doing? It's ball 4."
Yeah, Chase scores. John, how rare is it? How rare is it for the same base runner, being Chase Prouty, to score twice on bases loaded walks in the same game? That's rare.
That is rare. It is rare. But I'll take it all day long.
That's a strike with a fastball in the inside corner. I'm serious. I think they were pitching around him. They would rather have Diaz beat him because none of those pitches were close.
Yeah, I agree.
1 for 3 is Jason Diaz. And the offering. And he takes it low and away. And the count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. He's had some good at-bats. Line to center. A base hit, and he also grounded out. Lyons gets the sign out of the windup. The offering. Curveball is lifted foul and out of play off to the right.
Well, if he can get a good line here, that's going to bring in at least 2.
Jason's a very, very good contact hitter. He rarely fans.
Right, and he's a patient hitter, too.
Very patient. 1-2 with the bases loaded. 7-6 Northridge in the 5th inning. The pitch, fastball is high.
Yep.
See, that's the pitch Charlie swung at in the second at bat.
It is.
Jason was not having any of it.
Jason's not going to get baited into that one.
2-2.
Very smart hitter.
Diaz awaits. And the offering. Fisted foul and out of play behind the screen. And I love the fact, John, that he shortens up that swing. He really shortens up the swing with 2 strikes. Because that was just...
It was, and I love that he's going to decide the outcome of this.
That is correct. 100%. 2-2. Alvarez lays down the sign. Lyons to the plate. Low and away. And that didn't miss by much, but it was clearly a ball. It's 3-2.
He's worked it to a full count now. And that's great at batting. That's great batting.
3 balls, 2 strikes, and the runners will be going. A base hit in the outfield will score 2. Diaz, 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch, fouled. Oh, I love that swing. Just knowing you know what? He's going up there with the attitude that I don't have to get a hit. I just have to find a way on to tie this game
Right.
or take the lead.
I just got to get on. It's just 90 feet away is all I got to go.
If there's one hitter in this Fort Morgan lineup you do not want to face with the bases loaded, it's Diaz, because he's their best contact hitter.
He is.
Not their,
he's not a power hitter. He's a contact hitter. I don't know what that's about.
Why are they playing his walk-up again? He's been up there for about 3 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom 5, 7-6 Northridge. Out of the stretch now. And a step off. Oh, and caught between first and second. And now the pitcher's going to run towards the trail runner. Now breaking for the plate to throw the slide and out at the plate. Out at the plate is Swedzig. And Josh Langford is not happy. I don't blame him.
No.
That is horrendous baseball by the Mustangs. That should have never happened. And Diaz should have had the opportunity to at least take a walk or swing away. I cannot believe that just happened. And Zwedzig out at the plate. And certainly not Zwedzig's fault, by the way.
It was actually, it wasn't Swedzig out. It was Hilzer.
Right. I mean, the trail runner, yeah, you can't get caught in that. Anyway, in the inning for Fort Morgan, 2 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors and 2 left to the 6th in 1 minute. Northridge 7, Fort Morgan 6 on B106, B106.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Northridge leads Fort Morgan 7-6, and John and I were just discussing what a gaffe that was by Fort Morgan. You've got a guy in Jason Diaz who had a great at bat.
Right.
And you run for no reason.
For no reason.
You run yourself out of the inning. We could be either tied or if Diaz gets out, at least it would have earned it, or ahead. And the pitch is in the dirt to Louis Pisano. Struck out, grounded out, and singled. He's 1 for 3.
I'm not so sure that wasn't a strike because he pulled back, but then presented again and pulled back. And when he presented again, it was coming across. So.
And the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Wow, took something off it. Pisano tried to kill that baseball.
He did. He wanted every bit of that.
And it's 1-1 to Louis Pisano, followed by Derek Casillas and Diego Mondragon. 7-6 Northridge. The pitch, breaking ball way outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. I've seen Josh Langford pretty upset several times over several years, and that was one of them.
Yep,
and
he wasn't a happy camper walking off the
pitch.
Field.
Swing and a miss, man. That off speed is looking really good. Pisano way out in front.
And Pisano's looking for that fastball, and he's giving him an off-speed pitch.
Yeah, he's not going to get it, not with that swing.
Nope.
Because that's a fastball swing with a breaking ball. 2-2. And he reaches out, grounds it over the first base bag, and it's foul. Oh. I think Strange thought it was over the bag.
Well, I don't think it was foul.
That's what I'm saying.
Dancing on the inside of the line the whole time when he picked it up. It looked like it was on the inside of the line.
Well, Strange's body language to me indicated that was a fair ball.
To me,
and he's even looking back at the umpire.
Yeah, and I don't know why we didn't challenge that.
And a 2-2. Popped up in the infield. The shortstop Langford charges and makes the one-handed grab.
Okay.
And that is a outstanding pitch thrown by J.J. Marquez, getting Pisano totally off balance. His off-speed is working, John. He's retired the first 4 he's faced.
Yeah, and he's having a good outing right now, and that's just what the Mustangs need.
Will it continue? Because Derek Casillas has singled, walked, and doubled, all against the starter Carrera. The pitch bounces to the plate. 1 ball and no strikes to Derek Casillas, the shortstop. And the offering swung on and popped up into shallow center. Here comes Angel Lopez for the one-handed grab. 2 down. 5 up, 5 down, faced by J.J. Marquez.
And that's good pitching. I mean, if he's getting them to hit and swing to an out, that's great.
That's when you know your off-speed is working.
Yep.
When your changeup is being hit in the air because they're swinging underneath it.
Underneath it.
And we've had that already.
Ahead of it and swinging underneath it.
Mondragon aboard twice on an errors and a sac fly. There's a strike. No balls and 1 strike. He's 0 for 2 officially. Is Mondragon. And the offering. Breaking ball stays high. 3 runs in the third and 4 in the fourth for Northridge. The Mustangs 3 in the second, 1 in the fourth, and 2 in the fifth inning. The offering bounces that one to the plate. Ball 2, strike 1 with 2 down and the bases empty in the sixth inning. And Northridge leads Fort Morgan 7-6. Marquez gets the sign and the offering, and that is low. Just missed.
Yeah, not by much.
Threw him a fastball. It's 3-1. He has retired the first 5 he's faced. But in a 3-1 hole here to Diego Mondragon. Back in the box is the first baseman for Northridge. The offering. Swing and a miss through the fastball right by him. It's 3-2. Well, how about another 1-2-3 inning? You're 1 pitch away.
That would be nice.
And the offering. Swung on and grounded a short, slow grounder. The charge by Langford, the set, the throw, and side retired. It's a 1-2-3 inning. The second straight for J.J. Marquez. 5 1/2 innings are in the books. Northridge 7, Fort Morgan 6 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Well, there's going to be a change in, we know Lincoln Lyons is going to first. Justin Sanchez is the new pitcher.
And it looks like your first baseman's now your third baseman.
Well, yeah, Diego Mondragon was there earlier. And now he's back at that position. I wonder if that place is, no, I don't know if Wyatt Hill is out there. Nonetheless, we're in the bottom of the sixth inning. Northridge leads Fort Morgan 7-6. Jason Diaz was at the plate with the bases loaded and a 3-2 count when Fort Morgan made a ridiculously poor base running decision. And Zwedzig had to be thrown out at the plate. Yeah, Mustangs have, you got to, John, you have to play what I call conventional baseball because that was unconventional baseball. Your conventional baseball is just allow your hitter to dictate what happens, especially a good one like Diaz.
Right.
That was
but
a
that was
long
actually
plate
Hilzer
appearance.
that got thrown out at home plate.
Oh, Hilzer.
Yeah.
Hilzer, you're right. Hilzer. Sorry about that.
Nope,
Yep,
that's
here's
okay.
Diaz. And here's the pitch. That's a strike with a changeup. 1 ball and no strikes, or no balls and 1 strike. Diaz lined out, grounded out, and singled. And the offering in the dirt skips away. 1-1. Here's another opportunity. They had one here. They had one here against Skyline. They had opportunities against Mountain View. You're down by a run with 6 outs to play with. And the pitch fouled off the end of the bat on a changeup, first base side. Way out in front. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the senior catcher, Jason Diaz. Mustangs will play another game coming up 20 minutes after this one. And then Thursday here against Roosevelt, Friday in Johnstown. The pitch swung on and grounded to short on a 3-hopper. Casillas fires high to first and offline. And off the glove of Lyons, it'll be an error on Derek Casillas. And the Mustangs have the lead runner on in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Well, and we're getting Urias out there as the courtesy runner.
John, but this also explains, I know Northridge has faced some tough teams, but this also explains why they're 3-9.
Yeah.
They have made 5 errors in the game. The Mustangs have only made 2.
Right. And so, I mean, that's a good thing that we're not making the errors, that we're getting that under control, but it's the scoreboard doesn't reflect that.
Which is the most important number.
Yes.
So Frank at first, and here is Miguel Davila. He's walked and grounded out twice. You don't want to ground out here because that could start a double play. Square and a bunt. Takes it high. No throw to first by Damian Alvarez. And what do we have here?
I don't know.
I think we might have a warning or something. I don't know. 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if the first baseman did something, and I don't know if he was preventing the runner from getting back to the bag.
Well, you cannot fake tag either.
Well,
You
and I
can't
think
fake
that's
tag.
what the first base umpire was arguing and saying that's a bag. He needs to go to second.
1 ball and no strikes. Miguel awaits the pitch, squaring to bunt, and he lays it down third base side. That's foul.
Going to let it go foul.
Trickles foul. He angled it pretty well, but a little bit too much.
Well, it had enough spin on it that it just kept spinning out.
That's exactly what it was. A little too much side spin.
Yeah, a little side spin on there.
You take that little.
Is this kind of spinning?
Yeah.
You know, kind of like me sometimes. I'm going in circles. And
Well, that's, again, this is the disadvantage when you have no lefties in a lineup, because you get a lefty, they can see that third base line. And they can position it a little bit easier than the right-handed hitter who's shielded away from that line. The pitch, squaring it down, and it lays it down beautifully, third base side, barehanded by the catcher, spins, throws to first for the out. That's an excellent sacrifice bunt, and that's a really nice play. You being a catcher, Damian Alvarez threw a strike over there.
He did, and he had to throw a laser on that one too, because there was no margin for error, because Davila was right on the baseline, and he misthrows that, and he's going to hit your runner right in the back, and then they're both on.
Yep. Here's Angel Lopez. Singled and aboard twice on errors. He's been on base 3 times, but he's only 1 for 3. The tying run is at second base. Fort Morgan trails 7-6 in the bottom of the 6th inning. At the belt and to the plate. In the dirt, it skips away up the first base side, and that will allow Urias to advance to third in the wild pitch. John, I think here that if you're Northridge, you play the infield in.
I would.
And they're going to do it.
I would right here, because you've got to play the bunt, because you got the tying run 90 feet away.
Now that you mention a bunt, that almost wouldn't be. I mean, it's hard to advance a runner from third on a bunt unless it's up the first base side.
If you had a good drag bunt, but I don't know.
Well, Lopez has made contact all 3 times, so I
has.
think he wants him to hit away.
And all you need is a good looper.
Well,
because right field is playing way in.
Angel's got a lot of good torque on that swing. He can drive it to the outfield to score the run, even if it's a sac fly.
Yep.
The board says 0-1. That should be 1-0. Yeah, that should be 1 ball and no strikes. There you go. 1 out. Open stands for the right-handed hitter, senior Angel Lopez. The pitch. Swung on, popped up, foul territory to the screen. There's a play, and it's made by Alvarez, 2 down.
Well, that was exactly what you did not need right there.
John, I think he swung at a pitcher's pitch and not a hitter's pitch.
He did. He did. Well, coach is coming out to go talk to the pitcher.
Well, I'm sure he'll keep him in. Maybe this is just a scouting report, because
maybe
the pitch that Sanchez threw him was a really good one. Unless he's got a closer. But it would be a 4-out save. There's a runner at third. Yeah, I would think you would have spoken to your pitcher with 1 out and a man at third. But now you play the infield back. This is just straight up baseball here. I don't think there's anything
you got to force them
unorthodox
to get a hit and make a play.
That's it. Yeah, nothing fancy at this point. So runner at third with 2 down. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Northridge leads Fort Morgan 7-6. And Isaiah Ortiz will be counted upon to at least tie the game. He is struck out, grounded into a fielder's choice, and singled 1 for 3. There's been some odd stoppages in this game. That's why we're 2 hours and 8 minutes in with still the 7th inning to go. Well, the second base or the field umpire, he's going to be the home plate umpire in game 2.
Right.
They don't have a second crew. You guys are out there the whole time. Stretch by Sanchez. Ortiz awaits. Swung on, popped up. This should end the inning. The shortstop, Casillas, comes in to his left, makes the grab, and the Mustangs leave a runner stranded at third with 1 out. We head to the 7th. Northridge 7, Fort Morgan 6 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. J.J. Marquez has been outstanding in relief. He's retired all 6 hitters he's faced. However, Fort Morgan down 7-3 at one point, still trails 7-6 as we hit the 7th. Righty against righty. Here is Damian Alvarez, who's lined out, walked, and hit a sac fly. 0 for 1 the pitch. Swung on and popped up into right field. Braden Hilser comes in, still coming, makes the one-handed grab. 1 out. John 7 up, 7 down. JJ has been a joy to watch pitch in this game because he's just challenging these hitters.
He is, and he's going straight at him, and I like that. I like be aggressive. You know, if they're going to get a hit, make them get a hit.
And that little changeup,
Yep.
That's why they're popping them all up.
They're popping them up, and they're swinging in front of them, and I like it. It's good pitching.
If he gets this guy out, he's doing great because Lincoln Lyons has 3 doubles in the game. The pitch fouled back. No balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, he's been hitting well this game, but if you can get him to fly out, that'll be
another bonus because this guy has gotten every piece of the baseball all 3 times up. And the 0-1 over for a strike at the knees. Took something off of that one.
Yep.
Bottom of the zone because Lyons is a tall hitter. And
Yep.
it got the bottom of the zone. It's 0-2.
He was not expecting that. He was looking for something up and thought it was low.
And the pitch swung on and popped up into left center field. Lopez to his right in the gap. And the catch is made in left field by Jaden. He looked over there, but Jaden made the play, 2 down.
So, and that's a good backup play by the center fielder. Lopez ranged a long way for that. And just
well, when he kept running, I thought he was going to make the catch, but Jaden was just standing there the whole time.
Yeah. Jaden just stood there, watched the ball all the way in, and he pulled off to back up.
Jacob Lerman struck out, popped out, and struck out for a second time. Both strikeouts have been looking. And the offering to the right-handed hitter. Swing and a miss through the baby right by him. It's 0-1.
That was a nice inside fastball. Tied him up.
Northridge has not had a base runner since the 4th inning. And the offering. Breaking ball is upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. Northridge 7, Fort Morgan 6. 2 down in the top of the 7th with the bases empty. But this has killed Fort Morgan. They've left 9 on base. Northridge only 5. That's popped up.
And
foul territory. Diaz to the screen, and he runs out of room as it flies into the stands. I thought Rob Caruth was going to make the play.
I thought so.
Yeah. Did Rob play baseball at some point?
I'm sure he did.
Those days were far behind him because he made no effort.
I think he was just trying to protect somebody down there. He was going to take one for the team.
And the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and grounded to short. Charlie is right there. Fields fires. 1-2-3 inning.
Very
again
nice.
For J.J. Marquez. We head to the bottom of the 7th in Fort Morgan in game 1 of this doubleheader. Northridge 7, Fort Morgan 6. This is B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Here we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Northridge with a 7-6 lead on the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Chase Prouty will now step in. A base hit his last time up. And the offering, that's a little bit outside. That's a good take by the junior third baseman. 1 ball and no strikes. A fielder's choice, a hit by pitch, and a single. 7, 8, and 9 in the 7th. The pitch, strike at the knees with a changeup from Justin Sanchez. This is his 2nd inning of work. Lincoln Lyons went the first 5. Prouty awaits the pitch, and here it is. Strike 2. Threw him another bender there. That time that was a breaking ball. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oh, that was a solid pitch.
That really was. It was a nice bender.
Chase right on top of that plate, looking for anything at this point. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Oh, my gosh. This guy pulled the string again.
He did.
I mean, that is just outstanding pitching, pulling the string big time, and there's one down.
Well, and that bender, he should have gotten ahead of that and just drilled it down third base line.
I tell you, he threw some quality pitches there. Here is Braden Hilser, who's 2 for 3. And the offering. That's in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. An RBI single, a pop out, and a bunt single. Sorry, John.
Oh, and I was going to say, it looks like we got Cooper Chisholm there on deck, so you're going to throw a left-hander at him.
The wind and the pitch. Breaking ball is up and in. It's 2-0. Close, but no cigar. 2 balls and no strikes. And, yeah, this would be the only left-handed hitter the Mustangs have. The freshman Chisholm on deck. 2-0 to Braden Hilser. Let's see if he's taking automatically. The offering. It's down and away. 3-0. Now he's definitely taking, as Coach Langford just signaled. In fact, John, my philosophy, take 2 pitches. This is not about getting a base hit. Just get on base.
Right.
Make him throw 3 strikes in a row. And the 3-0, strike 1. Man, even on that pitch, he's got some action on that ball. I would not take a I mean,
I wouldn't. I'd lay off right here.
Yeah.
Because he's going to try to get you to chase one right here, and I just lay off.
3 balls and 1 strike. And the offering. That's outside. There you go. It's a walk. And that'll send up Cooper Chisholm, the freshman. Limited number of plate appearances. He's 1 for 3, hitting .333. A big spot for Cooper Chisholm as Frank Urias will now run it first. He's got plenty of speed.
Yep.
What a big spot here for Chisholm. Trailing 7-6 to Northridge. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning as the Mustangs are looking to snap a 6-game losing streak. If they don't do it in this game, they've got a shot in the second game. But how sweet would it be to come through right now, especially with Carrera and Langford? If one of these 2 gets on, Charlie will hit.
Yes.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
And I still wouldn't pitch to Charlie.
With the speed you got on first right now, and you got a left-handed hitter, perfect time to put that bunt down third base line.
Short lead at first for Odiaz. The pitch. That's a strike. That's a beautiful changeup. He's throwing. He's pulling string after string.
Yeah.
And it's 0-1.
Like he's reaching into the toolbox here.
I think that's his pitch. It's better than the fastball.
It is.
No balls and 1 strike. Awaiting is Cooper. The pitch. Swung on, popped up. The shortstop, Casillas, to his right, is going to make the grab. And again, that's the product of throwing all-speed pitches 2 down.
It is. Well, and just lifted that right up. So now we're at a point where we got to have Carrera and Langford produce for us here.
Jaden is 0 for 3. He grounded to the mound on that bunt attempt. He walked, struck out, and hit into a fielder's choice. If he can hit one in a gap, this could tie the game because they'll send Frankie. They will send him.
They will, to get that run scored.
Justin Sanchez looking for the save. The pitch. That is upstairs, just a little bit high.
Yeah, not by much.
And one thing we've learned about Justin Sanchez, he's got either the wrong cap size or too much hair. It keeps flying off his head.
Flying off.
1 ball and no strikes to Jaden Carrera. At the belt, the pitch. That is up and away. It's 2-0. Boy, John, they don't want to make this mistake because this is pick your poison.
Right.
You either pitch into Charlie if you don't pitch to him. If you allow Carrera to get on, or Jason Diaz, another excellent hitter. 2-0. And the offering. That's a strike, and that's a good take.
That was a good take. It really was.
2-1.
You don't want to get into early trouble, and that very well could have dropped underneath.
He's throwing nothing but off speed. Change-ups and breaking balls. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 down. Bottom 7. The pitch. Out. Oh, a strike. Holy mahungus. That looked like ball 3.
Yeah, it did. I think that they gave him one on that. They gave Northridge one.
That's a huge call in this game. But again, the Mustangs got a couple early on.
But I watched the catcher reach way out.
Oh, you're right. That was ball 3. Now Jaden's got to be ready. 2-2. And the offering. That's upstairs. 3-2. Okay. Frank is going to get a running start.
Yep.
You get a running start. Make sure the pitch is delivered to the plate, because that's what happened 2 innings ago. We didn't make sure with Jason Diaz up there with a 3-2 count. Make sure. Do not take off prematurely and end this game on the bases. 3-2. And the offering. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on a changeup, and the game is over. And Northridge has won Game 1 of this doubleheader in Fort Morgan by a score of 7-6. Post-game show for Game 1 brought to you by Advanced Agri Solutions. Get a full plan of seed, food, and water for your field. Now is the time to begin your planning for the growing season. 970-571-2024. Call Dusty or Roxy. 7 runs, 8 hits, 5 errors, 5 left on base for Northridge. 6 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, 10 left on base for Fort Morgan. The winning pitcher was Lincoln Lyons. The loss went to Jaden Carrera. Time of the game, 2 hours and 23 minutes, and the Mustangs were looking really good early. They had a 3-0 lead. All those runs scored in the second inning. RBI single by Braden Hilser. J.J. Marquez reached on an air. Jaden Carrera was walked with the bases loaded, scoring Chase Prouty. But then a couple of critical errors, and Northridge capitalized. Diego Mondragon was able to score on an air to make it, or got on via the air. A 2-run double by Lincoln Lyons tied the game, making it 3-3. And then actually they scored 7 unanswered runs. In the fourth inning, they tallied 4 more. Derek Casillas with a run scoring, how about a 2-run double? Mondragon with a sac fly, Alvarez with a sac fly. Back came the Mustangs with a single run in the fourth inning on Jason Diaz's RBI single. And then they made it 7-5 in the fifth inning on Chase Prouty's run scoring single. And then 7-6 when Charlie Langford was walked with the bases loaded. But John, you could pinpoint different areas of the game and just mistakes. The 2 errors didn't, I mean, they made 5. That neutralizes, but you leave 10 men on base. Those are just blown. And when the opposition only leaves 5.
Right. And we just couldn't capitalize, and we made some running errors. That one, we had bases loaded, and we made a huge running error, and that really was the difference, because that would have been the 7th run, potentially the 8th run to win it.
Potentially the 8th run. Well,
and this has kind of been the story so far in these last, 5 or 6 losses that we've had.
Well, the problem is now you've got Game 2 coming up, and you got to forget about this one, because now you've lost 7 in a row.
Right. You got to get a W on the board somewhere.
But I will say this, John. J.J. Marquez was brilliant with his pitching. 9 up, 9 down. You can't ask for more than that.
No, he pitched a brilliant game, like you said, and was just doing a wonderful job out there on the mound, throwing everything he could at him and getting the outs.
Yeah, but unfortunately the Mustangs fall short in game number 1. All right, we'll take a break, about a 15 to 20-minute break. We'll go to some music, and then we will bring it back for Game 2. I'm guessing start time. It's straight up at 6 o'clock on Morgan County's B106 KPRB Brush Fort Morgan. Start time, I would say about 6:15, 6:20, and we will come back in about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm John Beltran with John Prouty. Game 1 goes to Northridge, 7-6 over the Fort Morgan Mustangs on B106, B106.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.